International Journal Communication 6 2012 that an average American will consume digital information for 34 gigabytes per day. The largest contributor to this is actually digital games, followed by TV, surprisingly. And the hours of consumption of information nowadays shall be up to 1,273 billion hours, with words consumed to over 10,845 trillion words. Even I'm surprised by this. And 3,645 exabytes of information cataloged by the human brain. That is so much information that even the smartest or supercomputer will not be able to comprehend or even remember any information, and it will overload the systems. That is surprisingly a lot. Hello, my name is Nathan Gerald C. Cablay, and you may know me as myself included as my YouTube persona. And I have to say, I was the disembodied voice from earlier, and I read it from a script that basically said that that information is actually from a credible source, which is why I did the citation, because you're supposed to give a citation. That every single one of us can consume that much information in about a mere day. That's quite incomprehensible when you think about it. And nowadays, you have to wonder, like, what can we do with this? Like, what can we do with this information? Well, a lot of people already said it before, and we have to use it to become better, to grow. But did you know that in each of that information, one of those citations or information can be false and can actually lead you to making gossip? We all know what's gossip. Gossip is that one thing that your mom actually loves so much that she bought an entire cable just for that one channel. And gossip can be very much dangerous. Nobody broke their ribs just to kiss their toes, lady. Alright? I did not just did that. Okay? Don't take that out of context. And there's so many people that actually lose jobs because of a simple gossip that may or not even be true. And that's why consuming information is such a big deal. And that's why we as a human species must learn to comprehend which information is valuable and true. But if not, we must learn to do research and tell which is which. But dare I say, how do I find this word? How do I find this weird? How do I find this failure? Or how do I find this misinformation in the rebels of this world? Well, let me tell you that you did not ask. Well, you can actually do what we call research. Double check. Check the author. Check his credibility. Check his authority. And check if the author has given citations that can help prove his or her opinion and make it sure and true, and not something that this man just made up. Because nowadays you will actually see a lot of drama, a lot of things. People call it clout nowadays, where people will try to get a big hot take on someone and make sure that they actually find a flaw in their metal armor, which will then ruin their lives. We must learn not to listen to such simple things. Besides, it may not even be just people. There are thousands of mothers who do not believe that vaccines can actually help save or take care of their child. There's a lot of information nowadays that actually give and credit to thousands of research done that proves that vaccination does not actually cause any problem in the growth of a certain child. And yet thousands of mothers will still believe it because they just want to believe it. And a simple source that doesn't actually give or cite information may or may not lead to more problems in the future. And another epidemic like 2020 would happen again. That is why information is needed. Did you know that COVID-19 was actually predicted? Hello, my name is myself included, and this is another disembodied voice transmission from before the past in the future. it turns out that the National Geographic, the one I actually received the information, is actually forgotten to be cited by this dude who is now staring at you blankly in the screen because I paused it. Thanks, man. You really did well in this. Thanks so much. I have to freaking do this again. The cited information shall be in the description below, but it is from National Geographic by the name of by the bottom text bottom here because I kind of memorized it. Studies started to notice it, and if people had actually learned to and due to the fact that there was misinformation from certain tweets, it led to people actually thinking that it is nothing more but a mere flu, when in reality it was way worse. And a lot of people actually believe that we have immunity and that we can actually grow from it based on the fact that it has to be old people or young people who has to stay in quarantine. When in reality, it can actually lead to more people being infected. The treatment to it such is so bizarre and terrifyingly uncomfortable that it is actually scaring me as I think about it. And that's why people really needed to learn to stay in quarantine. Yet there's still people who want to believe that masks don't help, that the virus still doesn't exist, and that vaccination is bad. That's why people should learn to accept truth and information. Conspiracy theorists, I had to say that several times, straight up believe that Bill, the science guy, Bill Gates actually, would actually put literal tracking devices in vaccination to know where their location is, because clearly someone cares for us about them. And that's why people that's why people want to believe these conspiracy theories. It makes them look smart. It makes them stand out of the crowd. But if you actually believe misinformation, it may actually make you look more like a fool, and that people won't actually trust you. That's why people need evidence. That's why you need evidence. And that's why I gave evidence to someone about my love, and yet they still rejected me. That's why, and in this world where people will need and consume so much information, as stated earlier, what would happen when a certain misinformation, such as this, lead to another pandemic that we may not even control, let alone survive? That's why this is a warning for everyone out there, that this pandemic is because of us. We chose not to listen to experts that actually discovered it before it was worse. And now we are stuck in our homes, slowly going insane. We need to check if this information is true or not. We need to see if this information can actually help us or may actually lead us to misery. In our standard life, those who have the most are always known to be the strongest. But did you know that those who know what's right, know enough, can actually lead up to more people, can actually do more than what those who claim to know more? And that's why certain information, certain research, and certain tasks must be done in order to keep our civilization, our people, happy, alive, and of course, informed. This is myself included, known as Nathan Joel Cited in this real world. Signing out. Bye-bye.